Welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryan, and yeah, NBA playoffs first set of game ones are through, at least for the first day. And at least we have games. We have 4 games tomorrow, but 4 games happened today, and we had some I'd say, some pretty entertaining games. It's interesting that all the home teams won. Some of you might have not realized, but all the home teams did win their first game, so good for them. Shows home court advantage is real for anyone who believes it's not. I question people who believe home court advantage is not real because it makes no sense to believe it's not. But let's go through these games real quick. We started off today with the Magic versus Cavs. I wasn't able to watch the entire thing of it because I had work and all that stuff. But 83 points, 83. They played horrible offensively. The Magic did. They had some burst of looking pretty good, but overall they played terrible when it comes to the offensive side of the ball, which is interesting because this team's usually not bad on the offensive side of the ball. Free throws, they weren't good either. I mean, they shot like. Let me try to pull up. I'm trying to figure out these stats, and Google is awful when it comes to trying to finding the good stats. Because yeah, but they shot like 60% from the free throw line. Not good, and they went a lot of time without being able to score. Like they went on they went on a 9-2 run at one point over like a 4 minute span because like they weren't making shots, but like that was the best they could do because Cavs was at one point Cleveland like just didn't make a three. They were like 0 for 17 at one point from three after starting off 5 for 5, which is terrible. Yeah, but like Banchero had 24, Wagner had 18. It wasn't like their entire team sucked. But like Gary Harris played 33 minutes and didn't score a point. He fouled a lot, but he didn't get a point. Suggs was a bright spot though. Suggs had a good performance right there. He had a little run of his own. He had an and one dunk on Max Strus, and he hit a three, which was pretty big. But then Donovan Mitchell and the Cavs decided, you know what, it's better for us to score 2 points than miss threes. So they decided to do that. Evan Mobley had a good first half, 16 and 11. Allen had a good overall game, 16 and 18. But Mitchell was the star today with 30 points, like he should be. So good win, very good win for the Cavs right there. They needed that game. It was last year against the Knicks. They lost their first game. That set them back a lot because they had to go on the road. And it might surprise you, but Orlando's not an easy place to play at. They're pretty loud. They've not been in the playoffs for a couple years. So it's not going to be a quiet experience there. It will be loud. And then next up, Timberwolves versus Suns. Again, I kind of fell asleep at halftime, but for what I was able to see, Kevin Durant was the main guy for the Suns, but he was unable to do all. Going into the series, it was very obvious that Nurkic was going to be, in my opinion, the X factor because you have again Anthony Edwards for the Timberwolves, Gobert, Towns, and you have Beal, Booker, and Durant. You know we can get from them. Beal didn't have a great game. Booker wasn't phenomenal. Kevin Durant played a very good game. Anthony Edwards did too. So okay, we had the scores. You had the defensive guys. They have to switch out. Who's gonna be this in between part? We knew Mike Conley was probably Mike Conley was gonna be that guy for the Timberwolves, veteran experience, and also Naz Reid, of course, is a big guy. But you have 3 bigs versus 1 for the Suns, which is Nurkic. And I was like, how is he going to hold up? He held up terribly overall. 4 rebounds. 4. That is not good. 4 rebounds is terrible for what you need to do. And he had most of them in the first half. Second half, he was just not it. And like in the end of the first half, I mean, it wasn't an extremely big point differential. It was a 10-point game. It was a very bad second quarter for them. But then the third quarter, they outscored them by 10 again. And once you do that, once you beat a team by 10 points in 2 quarters, it pretty much should be over at that point, especially if it's a guy like Anthony Edwards that can close out a game single-handedly. Gobert overall played pretty good in Towns for a third game back, not that bad. He'll get a rhythm and more and all that. Next up, probably the opinion my favorite game of the day, the Knicks versus Sixers. I didn't realize Josh Hart could hit those type of threes. Josh Hart was making threes I didn't expect him to make. Off the dribble threes, double clutch. I had never seen him make any of this stuff before. I mean, he was making open threes. He was making normal threes. He shot like 4 for 8 from the 3-point line. I never seen that before from the guy. Because he was left wide open. He was left wide open. Maxey played very, very good. Over 30 points. He was the leading scorer for both teams, like combined both teams. He was able to blow by anyone, and when he got the mismatches, he used them to their advantage. Embiid was out for a bit at one point, which was not good for the Sixers. They got down, and then when they came back fully in the third quarter, that's when they hit the run. Like, third quarter, 36-21. That's pretty big. That is very big for that. But the second quarter was awful for the Sixers. Why? Because Embiid got hurt. Like, okay, you might be wondering, it might not have been that bad. They scored 12 points in the whole quarter. That's equal to the amount of minutes a team plays in the whole quarter. That's not good. This isn't high school. This isn't pee-wee. This is not good. You can't match the minutes and points and be good. But then the Knicks scored 33 points. And yeah, I was kind of surprised to see how good Mitchell Robinson down the stretch of the game actually played against Embiid. I'm not saying Mitchell Robinson is bad at all, but this is an MVP type of guy, and it seemed like Embiid did not have the confidence at one point. But Mitchell Robinson, I'm not talking just defensively, but offensively, he was getting his own rebounds, putting the backup in it very well. Good job offensive rebounding. Something Embiid's really good at is be able to box out well and hustle back. Without the explosiveness, Mitchell Robinson took advantage, which is very huge. And he had that one moment, which I have a ball. I don't have a ball. But they go for a rebound. I mean, Embiid takes a shot bad. Robinson catches the ball right here. Embiid goes for the ball, and then Mitchell Robinson, instead of just like a little fight around, someone rips it away. Mitchell Robinson takes the ball and just rips it down fully. Now, instead of up here, he takes it down to the ground, and the whole place just erupts in New York. Crowd goes crazy. That was a moment that was like, this is something we'll remember. The Knicks win this game in this series, we will remember that moment because it set a tone. Mitchell Robinson is not going to just let you get those type of rebounds. He's not going to let you get those type of plays. We're not going to let you just do what you want, Embiid. We will stop you. We will go right at you. We will make you work for everything. And that's what is set. I know it's late in the fourth quarter, but you got at least 3 other games to play. It sets the tone for much more. Crowd involved. I know Maxey didn't hit in the 3, but Hart hit a 3, and then Anunoby hit another one, and then I think Hart maybe hit another one after that. That kind of set the game away. Embiid overall was getting his free throws, but he didn't play a great game. Brunson hit the shots he had to. Overall, not great efficiency, which can happen. But also, I have to mention this, McBride, unbelievable game. Had like 21 points coming off the bench. The point differential on the rebound for the bench was the reason why I believe they won. Sixers got to get more of the guys. Oubre got to play better. All these other guys got to play better. On Philly, but like Philly shot a better field goal percentage, 44% to 39. But let me try to find this out. Yeah, I don't think it shows bench points on here. But the turnovers were even, but it came out to the rebounding. 23 offensive rebounds to 9 to the Sixers. 55 total rebounds to 33. A 22 rebound advantage is huge. 10 shot overall advantage. They shot 10 more times than Knicks did. Second chance points would be a difference. But again, Tobias Harris got to get some more points, and 7 points in 31 minutes is unacceptable. 39 minutes for Oubre, only 10 points. Batum, 26 minutes, only 3 points. Not good. Lowry had 18 in 39 minutes. He's like 38 now. You got to be able to score. And if Lowry can score, why can't you? The guard scored well for Philly today, but no one else is really doing much outside of Embiid, which is expected. So I think Philly can respond well. I think out of all these teams, they can probably bounce back and win game 2, more likely than the other one. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. Also, it's kind of interesting to see what Phoenix's situation. Phoenix beat the Timberwolves 3 times in the regular season, but by double digits. But they got blown out by 25. That's really weird. But then you have arguably the game of the day. Lakers versus Nuggets. Most anticipated game of the day, probably. Wow. Lakers blew a chance to win a game. Oh, wow. Okay. It might not show right here. It says 103-114 is the score. But the Lakers got up by like 12 at one point in the second quarter. And then just let them come back. And Anthony Davis had a great game, 32 points, 14 rebounds, very, very good. LeBron had a very efficient game, I would say. I mean, was it perfect? No, he had 7 turnovers, but it doesn't mean that he was not playing to a very high level, though. Overall, great performance from both of those players, AD and LeBron, but no one else stepped up to a high level, especially D'Angelo Russell. And the reason I'm mentioning him more than anyone else, like instead of like Roy Hachimura had 7 points, which is not good. Austin Reeves had 13. That's okay, but also it's like well, Russell had 13 points. Yeah, he had 13 points on 1 for 9 from 3. And the problem was that last year he had this happen too. He was not making his threes against the Nuggets. Any other team he was fine against. He played against the Grizzlies, he was fine. Warriors, he was fine. Playing games, he was fine. But against the Nuggets, he could not make his shots. And it continues here. And it's not like he's not open. He is open for a lot of these shots. He's just not hitting them. And even then, he was making really tough shots against the Pelicans. Why can't he make them here? I don't know why. But LeBron had 27 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. That's overall very, very good. Anthony Davis, 32 and 14. He did his job. I'm not sure how many games you're going to get like those performances like that from an Anthony Davis, a 32 and 14 game. Because he is 32, 16, like 35, 18 type of thing. Sometimes in playoffs he's like that. Hopefully it's not here. Hopefully he's consistently played at that level, which would be surprising. Played 44 minutes. He's not a guy who can play 44 minutes consistently. At least it's very, very unlikely. So I'm interested to see what happens with that. But you blew an opportunity because your 2 best players played a great game and you had a chance to win. But yeah, this lack of a great bench is showing. I mean, Taurean Prince had 11 points, not that bad. His defense was okay. Like Dinwiddie was 0, Gabe Vincent was 0, Jackson Hayes was 0. I mean, Jackson Hayes only played 4 minutes. But the reason I'm saying that is because like you get some productive minutes from the backups of the Nuggets. Like Watson went for 8. I mean, DeAndre Jordan, he went for 4 points. Like, you get some minutes like that, but then you have a guy like Kentavious Caldwell-Pope that came out of nowhere in the second half specifically. It was the first half, he was nothing. He was 0 for 4 from 3. Nothing. Second half, he started off 4 for 4 from 3. And that got them the lead, and that extended the lead a lot. And they didn't need their main guy to be able to do that. That's what makes this team so good. There's so many guys that can just click. They have the opportunities to click. They have like 5 guys. Their entire starting group can just click at any time, and it's over for you. And then you have a bench guy like Christian Braun that can hit some big shots. Reggie Jackson, if he needs to, could hit some shots. Stuff like that. And like Michael Porter Jr., 19 points, 8 rebounds. That's good. That's a game you would want from him. 0 assists. That's kind of funny. But like Aaron Gordon, 12 points, 7 assists, 11 rebounds. That's what you would want. Jokic, 32, 7, and 12. Oh my gosh. That's what you would want. Jamal Murray, 22, 10, and 6. Made some tough shots. Had a cool dunk. That's what you would want. Caldwell Pope, 4 for 4 from 3 in the second half. Or started off like that. Official 12 points. Made 4 threes all in the second half. Big shots. That's what you would want. You get those performances at home. You're going to win a lot of games. But it sucks for the Lakers that this happened. The Nuggets played a really, really good game. They'll probably play a lot. They're a very consistent team like this. They will win a lot of these type of games. Nuggets will. When their team is playing at their best, they're the best team in the NBA. They're better than the Celtics. They're better than the Bucks by far. Better than like the Thunder. I would like to see how they play in the playoffs before I say that. Timberwolves, Suns, Lakers, all those type of teams. They are Knicks. They are better than when they play at the best level. And it showed last year and it's showing again this year. See if they can play consistent and see what happens. Hopefully no injuries happen. LeBron was a bit slow. Looked like he had his elbow. Seemed fine. But yeah, those are the 4 games today. Tomorrow we have the Heat, Celtics, Mavericks, Clippers, Pacers, and Bucks, which would be a very interesting game actually. And then my Thunder play at 9:30 Eastern Time against the Pelicans. Let's go Thunder. Stand up. Let's go OKC. Let's go win this game 1. Best home crowd in the country by far. Just watch. If you don't believe so, just watch. Hope you have a great day. Stay safe, y'all. And God bless y'all.